Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, the tarot cards are the Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. I've had this a long time. I'm going to say close to 30 years. I don't think you can find this anymore, but maybe. That's the information. This was before website. Well, I shouldn't say it was before websites. It was definitely before websites were popular. There's the information at the top. So if you're interested, that's the information for that tarot deck. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Reich Baskin. Website on the back is, I believe, watkinspublishing.com. Should be right there at the bottom. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I also use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0. For the Fool, I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I have a 4-sided dice that I use to choose the element for that minor arcana. All these came from the dice shop, which is mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Hopefully it shows up on camera. mathartfun.com. Okay, with that being said, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? I don't know why, but all of a sudden I think that's off kilter, but let's go through and get it done. Get it done. Okay. This might be one of those readings where the words are just playing their own game. This is Virgo. Not bad. Nothing. I don't see anything really bad, but I'm kind of shocked at what I see going on here because there's some changes going on. And that card, that's interesting. I think you got to be aware of who's moving around you, what's going on around you, and I think you'll be fine. I think you're in your element. The Two of Pentacles is in the past, and the way this card depicts it is very interesting to me. Because I feel like it's saying, you know, it's time to make a decision, but it's kind of like, well, let's wait. We can decide what we need to do, but we don't need to actually move forward today. Like, we can decide that we need to move, and we can start, like, looking into options, like, you know, how are we going to sell the house? Where are we going to go? What type of place do we want? We can start looking into some options and kind of thinking about options. But let's not make some hard and fast, like, you know, moving out of this house, for example, before we found somewhere else to go. Yes, we're making the decision that we need to make movements, but let's start considering them. And that seems how this started in your element. This seems like it started very well. Kind of like, yes, I agree, things need to change, we need to make some changes, things need to this, things need to that. But let's go into it, let's look at our options before we start making hard and fast movements. Like, you know what I mean? Don't sell the car until you know that you actually want to or know what you want to go on to next. Also, it's kind of like, you know, if we're going to do renovations to the house, let's think about our total picture. Where do we want to end up, and like what makes the most sense to start upgrading? Like, we don't want to upgrade like the porch, the back porch, and then decide, you know, actually half of where we put the porch is where we actually want to put the pool, and then have to unconstruct some things that we didn't need to do that the first time. We should have kind of looked at it more in the big picture before we started moving forward. This is kind of like, look at all our options. Where do we ultimately want to be? And then let's decide what makes sense to move forward with now. Makes sense to Virgo. I feel like this is a Virgo, like everything's going the way I want it to. I feel like I do have control here. I do have a lot to say about what's happening next. It feels good. It feels like the way this is building, it's building slowly and surely, and I like that. I like how it's going. I feel like this is a good energy for you. You like it. You do have some backup here. So I do feel like whatever the situation is, you do have some backup. I'm questioning. I'm like, it depends on your situation. Somebody is like working to your favor. Could be a partner. Could be family members. Could be coworkers. Could be a boss. Could be an employee of yours. For some people, I keep getting something about school, and there's some type of school representative. So I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do with that. But it's definitely somebody who's kind of like, they agree, and they're backing up what you're thinking, where you want to go. I feel like when you say how you want to do it, I feel like they're waiting for you to decide, and then like when you say like, I think this is what I'm going to do, they bring you up like backup information to like say, yeah, that's a good thing, or no, I don't know if I do that, and this is why, which is very welcome because you're not looking to make any mistakes anyway. So if there's something here that's not going to work, you want to know that. Feels good. Feels good. This energy, the supportive energy, does bring forward things that kind of like, all right, Virgo, I know where you're standing. I understand how you're viewing it. But I'm also noticing that this is going to be a problem later on down the road. Sorry about that. This is going to be a problem later on down the road. So here's some extra information that maybe you weren't thinking about or didn't know or didn't realize was going to affect you the way it's going to. There's good information coming your way. Good information. It's not taking your situation away from you. It's not destroying it. It's basically saying, okay, I see where you want to go, but this is kind of like we're looking at the back porch, and they're kind of like, well, the way the land works, if you're going to have a pool and you want to do this type of pool, this is the best place to put it, and here is why. It's going to cost you 3 times as much to put it over there. It's going to be a lot more efficient, but if you're going to put it over here, you clearly don't want to put the deck there conflicting with it. And they're telling you why, like, this might be a better idea, this is why they would, this is what they know, this is what they've learned. Very good information. You're very open to it. So it's helping you form a really good plan. It's helping you reconstruct it before anything really happens. I feel like you love it. I feel like this is really going good. You get the Ace of Swords, King of Swords. Information is flowing to you in a very honest way, and like everything's not going the way you want it to, but you're realistic. You weren't expecting it to. It's all about, okay, there's things here I'm not going to like. Bring it to me in the right time. Bring it to me before we start moving forward. Bring it to me very, very early on so I can deal with it, and I can make different decisions before we get knee deep in something and go, uh-oh, this wasn't right. You know, so I feel like even though the information isn't like something you necessarily enjoy hearing, you do appreciate when it's coming in, because the facts are the facts. Facts are the facts, and you know that. What is this energy here? Because I understand. Is it the way I said it? I feel like you're going to be on point with this. So there's one card showing up here. So Five of Pentacles, and the Temperance card, and the Star, and then this last card here is like, well, how's this coming in? This is the Victim card. I don't really believe it's you. It could be you. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't think it is. Other people might be very bent out of shape that they can't do what they want, or that plans have to shift. You may also feel it's possible. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a general read. It's basically saying be aware of this energy. I don't think it's going to be you, but it could be. Whether it is or not, you don't want to reinvest in the victim energy. You want to look at it like, all right, something here isn't what I would like it to be. Okay, from where I am now, I'm going to empower myself that that's no longer a factor. So this kind of, I don't know how to explain this. It's almost like reminds me of getting slapped in the face. It's kind of like whatever happened, I didn't deserve the slap in the face. But I'm also going to be like more aware of this person and this type of person, and I'm just like, I'm not going to give them the opportunity to do that again. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I'm realizing whatever else here was going wrong, I'm just not going to be subject to that. I've learned that, you know, I got to watch out for things, and it doesn't mean that it was right, but it's like I'm also looking out for it. There's like a jump here in like the analogies. I don't know why. But like if that's coming in, like somebody like feeling like a victim, it's kind of like, you know what? Whatever it was, it's kind of like that Whitney Houston song, it's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to make it anyway. It kind of reminds me of that Whitney Houston song. Kind of like, you know, whatever happened here wasn't right. I'm not saying it's, you know, but I'm not going to let it bring me down. I'm going to build from it. There's this energy that's going to try to bring the energy down. There's this moment that's going to try to bring the energy down. The trick is to not let it. Step back from it, disconnect from it, and go, all right, you know what? There's something here I don't like. Correct, I don't like it. But I know at a good time here, revamping this plan and getting where I want to go. Because the situation is going forward, but we need to address it as more directly and more. We have to get into like what's not right here. So, okay, maybe this is what I'm not seeing right. If something here doesn't sound like you like it, go right towards it. Go right towards it, figure it out, shut it down, get it out of your way. That feels better because the energy just kind of calmed down there. Because there's going to be something here. Like if it doesn't sound right, this doesn't make sense for Virgo because I don't see you doing this, but somebody else might. Kind of like, oh, that might not go right. We'll just have to hope for the best and keep going. That does not sound like Virgo to me. Head towards it. So I don't know if somebody else is a part of this or something. Whatever doesn't seem right, head towards it. Figure it out so that it doesn't bring you down because it will show up later. If it's not properly handled the first time around, it will re-show up. I feel better with that victim thing too. It's kind of like you're getting a heads up that something's not right. You're going to hear about it. You need to know that it's taken care of properly. Head towards it. Make sure you know the answers. That will nip it in the bud and that it doesn't have to drag on down the hill with you. It just, like, it reminds me of just, like when the cat stows away in the car. Like, or you know what I mean? Or like the cat, like if you have like a backpack or something you take with you when you go somewhere, and the cat stows away in it, and you get halfway to where you're going, and you're realizing your cat is with you, and you're like, oh crap, now what am I gonna do? We don't need to have that moment. Like it's like something's not right here. Let me double check things. Let me triple check things. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to say there. All right, because when things get going, they're gonna get going pretty well, and this is gonna be something you like. Things are going to get up to speed. A lot of things are going to be happening. A lot of good things are going to be happening. If that situation wasn't properly taken care of, it will return. Is this Pentacles? I think this is Pentacles. It looks like Pentacles to me. Because the red is Pentacles, that's why I think it's Pentacles. But I'm not. I think there's a broken pentacle on the floor, so yeah, it's Pentacles. Something could go wrong. It could be a problem. We don't want to over-center on it. We want to address it, clean it up, and move on. Even if for some reason it gets past you guys or you or whatever's going on and it does show up later anyway, no matter your best efforts, the trick is to not over-center on it. Clean it up, move it out of your way, and keep going. Because there's more to go on. Don't over-center on it. I feel like there's not enough answers here to help you really be constructive with it. If it does show up again, the advice is to clean it up, move on, keep going. When it's all said and done, you can do an emotional audit, a mental audit about the situation. That way you can be like, all right, the way I look at things, when I do an emotional audit, I don't look at it in the sense of I don't do that. I look at it going, okay, I did this. All right, I made that decision because of this reason. I kind of know why I did what I did. What I know now, okay, not the best decision, but like life does, everything comes bound again. It's just in cycles. Everything is in cycles. So next time this type of situation comes around again, I'll remember this moment and be like, well, I went that way last time. I'm going to go this way this time because clearly that didn't work in my favor. So later on, you can self-audit later. It's better to self-audit later, not during. So if it does raise its head, and do it again. Just make sure you keep moving, clean it up, keep going, and keep letting the situation go in your favor. I feel like I'm supposed to let that go now. Whatever the situation is, there is something here where I feel like there's probably a variable or several variables that are just literally not in your control. Kind of reminds me of the weather. You can plan for it as much as you want. You might think it's going to be a sunny day, but you get there and it's still going to rain you out. Sometimes it just happens. Yeah, something here didn't go right. The situation ultimately has success. The situation is a judgment in your favor. It's going to go well. It does not quite go off as you expected. There's things here that just did not work out. It reminds me of having a garden. and having a nice sized garden and getting less than half of it back, but the half that did make it produced 3 times as much as I expected. This is how this feels like this is working out to me, which you can get caught up in that, and it can really like mess with your brain if you're not careful. So if you think about that, you have a nice sized garden, and in less than half of it actually comes to fruition due to problems. But the part that does come through produces 3 times as much as you expected. So it's kind of like good, but it's hard not to get stuck in that. Well, if the whole thing worked out like it was supposed to, I would have a ridiculous amount of stuff. And it's kind of like not getting stuck in that, like, you know, what I feel like I should have had, and kind of moving over into the, like, you know, I got this and this did work in my favor. So actually I did get a good amount. And it's almost like I feel like you still end up with the same outcome, in the sense of like, if the garden worked out as you expected it to, you would have had it close to the same as that you got. But it's kind of like, yeah, but the way I'm looking at it, it's like if the garden worked out the way I thought it would, I would have had so much bounty, it would have been ridiculous. And it's kind of like not over centering on what I should have had or what I could have had, and kind of holding on to what I did get from it. And then going back with that audit and trying to be like, all right, some decisions were made. Some of this, there's going to be variables. Like, I'm using the garden analogy. Like, one year I was doing a garden and the blight came through. I didn't know what I was doing anyway, but it's just kind of like, it just happened. So that went to crap. So just went to crap. So it happens. There's going to be some answers. There's going to be some things here that are just not going to have answers. Don't let it drag you down. If you want to put some work towards it, makes sense. But like, put a little bit of work towards it. If it starts aggravating you, put it down. Maybe come back to it later. I would use the rule of 3 on that. You know, put some work towards it. If you get to a part where it's just aggravating, it doesn't seem to be giving you answers, put it down. Try a second time. If it happens again, put it down. Don't let yourself go past 3 times doing that. After the 3rd time, just be like, you know what? Some things just are not going to give me the answers I want. There may be answers there, but maybe I don't have access to them at that time. And just trying to accept it. Whatever this situation is, I think this is why I was saying cycle before. It does seem to be repeating later. I feel like it's almost like I end a party and I'm getting invited to another one. That's kind of the analogy I'm getting. Like, I get right through this party, I'm just finally cleaning up for this last party, and now I'm getting invited into this next party and to be a part of creating that party. So I feel like that's happening right after this. I mean, High Priestess, you know, it's not like it's going to happen in 5 minutes, but I do feel like it's kind of like I'm getting invited, like I'm cleaning up for this one party, and then I'm getting invited to another one that they want me to help create. And it's like 6 to 8 months down the road. I feel like it's a good thing to be a part of. It also doesn't mean this one, I feel like you don't have to be in control of it if you don't want to be. You can be more of just a supportive energy. Just state it in the beginning that that's what you want, and you'll be fine. Because I'm getting like something new coming in. You're helping somebody. Like, somebody knows that you're really good at getting things done. But what I'm also getting is, as this comes in, because it's like this one ends, there's a little bit of discord. Like, you know, it's like you got a good outcome, but there's some things that are, you know, not sitting with you well, and you're still sorting that out. Somebody wants you to be a part of something else. I do feel like you're open to that, because I get like a good energy here with the 10 of Cups and the Quest. Like, I like these people. I would like to be a part of that with them, so I feel like I'm agreeable to that situation. But when it comes forward, I also feel like it's more like, definitely go with your gut feeling. If you want to be more of a leader role or more halfway in the middle, whatever you want. But I'm getting like, for a lot of you, you're kind of like still trying to figure out what went on with this last situation. Being a part of it, but then letting people know, I'll help you with it, but like, I'll be more of a supportive character. If you want me to help you find things, tell me what you want me to find. I'm willing to do that, but I don't really want to like plan the whole thing. I'll support, I'll assist, I'll help you with it, but I don't want to be planning it. I don't want to be starting it off. I don't want to be creating like the menus and deciding what will and what won't be there. You decide what will and won't be there, and I'll help you with creating what you've decided you want. Yes, cool. Because I'm getting like for a lot of you, that seems to be the more palatable way to do it going forward. If you want to be more of the center stage, then state that at that point. I think we're there. All right, went through all the cards anyway. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. James, the number 4, astral at gmail.com. James4astral at gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.